The cousins walked along the water's edge, playing. They searched for bits of glass, polished by the waves to become small and gem-like. They caught up on news of each other's lives and joked around. They wrote words in the sand. They chased the receding waves and ran away from the coming ones. The cousins enjoyed this time they had to themselves. Watch out for a rockfish, watch out for everything. I mean, it's beautiful, but it is dangerous, isn't it? I always wanted to visit a fucking beach. I hope I get to visit one. I mean, one as beautiful as this. I mean, this looks beautiful. They should start fishing. What if they can catch like something like a tuna? I don't know.
風が強くなってきたかな。そろそろ引き上げた方がいいかもしれないぜ。
そうだね。空も曇ってきた気がするよ。バトラ君、マリアちゃん、そろそろおしまいにして一度ゲストハウスに戻ろうか。
お、やだ。もっと遊ぶ。
こらこら、聞き分けろおい。じゃあこれでおしまいだ。ほら、俺のガラス石やるよ。
おお、本当？ありがとうバトラー。これで一番数が多いのはマリアだから優勝だね。
エンジェ
She loves singing.
大丈夫か？
Come on, girl, enjoy this.
少し元気ないぞ。
It's because she knows it's gonna be over. You know what? I'm the same way. Sometimes, even when I'm having fun like this, I can't enjoy it fully because I know it's gonna end.
疲れたんだよ。
However, going with what Maria said in episode 4, I think it was.
さあ、みんなで戻ろう。
About the pieces? True, Ange's expression probably looked tired. However, Battler alone thought he saw something else in it.
なんかあったのか？話してもらって。
She said that, but something in her expression showed that she was unsatisfied for some reason. However, since Ange wouldn't say what it was, and Battler couldn't think of anything, that was the limit of what he could figure out. So, he squeezed her small hand, silently letting her know that she could tell him whenever she was ready. It had seemed such a bright, sunny day until a short while ago. However, the sky had turned gray, and the wind had started to feel more annoying than pleasant. If they waited around, they might have to deal with scattering raindrops as well.
これであとはずーっと大雨ってわけか。なんだかげんなりするぜ。
でも短い時間だったけど、童心に戻れて楽しかったよ。
このガラス石、早くママに見せてあげるの。マリアが優勝したってママに教えるの。
俺が見つけたやつを譲ったんだけどな。
おお、マリアがもらったからマリアのものなの。だからマリアが優勝なの。
Angie walked distractedly, pulled along by her brother. George and the others thought that she had probably woken up too early and was tired, so they didn't try to talk to her much. If she has to enjoy this, she has to stop acting that way. As they reached the end of the forested path, the rose garden lay before them. They could see the strong winds making the rose bushes wave. Are they gonna point out that one rose again?
見て！マリアが優勝したの！
Waving a hand about and yelling, Maria ran. Rosa was waving to her from the front of the guest house. Oh, they're at the guest house.
私は一度自分の部屋に戻るぜ。そしたらすぐいとこ部屋に行くよ。
うん、わかったよ。じゃあ、後ほどね。
Jessica ran off in the direction of the mansion. George turned around, as though suggesting that they had better get going too. However, when he saw Angie standing still with a crabby look on her face, he realized that she might have been put into a bad mood by something.
大丈夫かい？
ああ、大丈夫だよ。悪いけど、先に行っててくれねえかな。
わかったよ。じゃあ、後でね。
George headed for the guest house. The only ones left in the rose garden were Battler, who was waving at George, and Angie, who was still staring at the ground and holding Battler's hand. For the past few minutes, he had repeatedly asked Angie what was wrong. He realized that this wasn't anything like a stomachache or something obvious that had put her in a bad mood. However, young girls sometimes get upset for reasons that only they can understand. Battler knew this, so he didn't rush her in any way, and continued to gaze around the beautiful rose garden, holding her hand.
お兄ちゃん、
どうした？
どこ？ここ。
She asked the question, as though she was talking about something on the other side of the silver screen. Wait a minute. Though Battler understood what that question meant, he played dumb.
どこって？六軒島だろ？
違うわ。
違わねえさ。
これのどこが六軒島だっていうのよ。
1986年10月4日のお前が知りたがってた六軒島だ。
嘘よ。
どうして？
こんなの嘘っぱちだわ。
Angie wrenched her hand from her brother's grip. That hand hit a rose and sent flower petals flying.
俺は嘘なんかつかねえ。
Oh God, I'm
こ
gonna...
れのどこが真実だっていうの？
So she's not gonna believe no matter what she sees. Angie spat those words out. However, Battler's expression remained calm and composed.
何が気に入らない？
後宮金蔵ってあんな人のわけないでしょ。
孫たちとしばらくぶりに再会したなら、どこのじいさんだって目尻を下げるだろうぜ。
Holy fuck, why is everything making me feel like this?
少なくとも後宮金蔵はそういう人じゃなかったでしょ。後宮金蔵ってのは
厳格で気難しく短気で怒りっぽい。
分かってるじゃない。何よあれのどこが後宮金蔵なのよ。ハロウィン？プレゼント効果？何よそれ。こんなの後宮金蔵じゃない。六軒島じゃない。
エンジェルは覚えてないのか？
何がよ。
こんなのはいつも恒例だったじゃねえか。
これ？これが？
そうだよな。お前が親族会議に来たのは6歳より前なんだもんな。
Yeah, so she couldn't really remember anything.
なら覚えてなくても無理はない。
覚えてなくてもって。
I mean, they only start remembering or forming memories at 4. So 5 being her last time here, and that being a long ass time ago. Angie understood what her brother was trying to say. However, she couldn't accept it. Fuck, I actually cried just a little bit right now.
後宮金蔵は確かに厳しい人だったぞ。若かった時は相当きつく息子たちに当たっていたらしい。 それが半ばトラウマになって、クソ親父たちが未だじいさまのことをおっかながっていることは、まあ確かに外れじゃない。
The grand tale of how Ginzo had restored the Ushiromiya family was more than enough to paint him as a rigid, terrifying man. Furthermore, Ginzo was an investor. All of the legends and tales that made him seem more mysterious had probably worked in his business's favor. At times, Ginzo may even have acted out this part people expected, endeavoring to make his presence all the more overpowering. That's why the world at large spoke of Ushiromiya Ginzo as a strict, short-tempered man. And they even thought of him as a fickle, bold, incomprehensible eccentric.
でもそれはじいさまの外の顔だ。
Oh, isn't that a saying? A Japanese saying? You have two, it's either 2 or 3 faces that you have. One you show the world.
親類一同、水入らずで過ごす時の顔じゃない。
Yes, one you show to the people close to you, and one you show yourself. When
目
you're
尻
alone.
を下げて孫たちを溺愛する涙腺の緩んだ老人が後宮金蔵の本当の姿だっていうの。
エンジェだって遊んでもらったり頭を撫でてもらったりしたことがあるはずだ。
Battler told me to believe in him, and I'm gonna do just that.
本当に覚えてないのか？
Things like that might have happened once or twice, but that would only have been a mere whim of Ginzo's. My parents told me all the time, grandfather is a terrifying person, so make sure you don't mess up. They always said that he's very scary, so take care. Well, they could just be trying to, make you be respectful in a way
だから
by saying those things.
怖い人なのよ。
幼いお前は親の言いつけを過剰に聞いて鵜呑みにする。よく言えば素直な。
Wow, to question things.
悪く言えば思い込みの激しい子だった。親父たちは行儀よくしてるようにと念を押していただけなんだ。
And that's just how she took it. That is just how she took it.
私見てたもん。知ってたもん。後宮金蔵は恐ろしい人だって怒鳴ってるところを見たことがあるもん。私は覚えてる。忘れない。
That might have been true, but
さっきも見た通り
maybe the
じ
reason
いさまは
she
唐
didn't
突なお人
understand.
だ。ひょっとすると何かを驚かそうとしたのかもしれない。あるいは親たちとの真剣な議論の中でつい怒鳴ってしまったこともあったかもしれない。
それを私が勝手に怯えて
Well, you were a kid.
勝手にそうだと思い込んだっていうの。
I mean, it's possible.
そんなはずないわ。そんなはずない。だって私は覚えてるもの忘れない。ちゃんと見たわ。後宮金蔵が怒鳴ってる恐ろしいところを。父さんも母さんも怯えていたわ。だからわかるの。私はわかる。
幼いお前が抱いたじいさまの印象はそのまま残り、お前の成長とともに膨らんだ。
Damn. What a thing. How many times did Angie see Ginzo in her life? How old was she the last time she saw him? Angie, who got sick easily under pressure, couldn't have gone to Rokkenjima often. And since she was absent for the family conference when she was 6, her last memories of him must have come when she was just 5 years old.
お兄ちゃんだって6年間後宮金蔵には会ってないじゃない。
Well, he was twice your age, last time at least. So we could form some
6
opinion.
年ぶりに帰ってきて、じいさまは6年経っても 全く変わってなかったって知ったぜ。
Just like you.
金蔵は気まぐれで何を考えてるかわからなくて、不気味なオカルト趣味の鬼人で。
オカルト趣味なのは間違いない。妖精の趣味にしちゃちょいと珍しいものだったのは事実だ。その不気味な収集品で孫を怖がらせてからかう悪い趣味があったことは俺も認める。
I wouldn't call that hobby in itself creepy though. I mean, if Ginzo wants to do that stuff, then who am I to judge what makes him happy? Even Battler had been pranked by Ginzo in the past. He showed me an attached case. How do I say that? With 7 strange stakes in it. Whoa. And said something about how witches in the Middle Ages used them in sacrificial rituals to gouge out the heart. When Ginzo first showed me those, I was pretty frightened. But looking back on it, it really was the kind of prank that could only fool a child. Grandfather only scared his grandchildren because he wanted to joke around with them.
じいさまはきっとお前にも同じことをしてからかったと思う。
To live life a little bit. That's how I'll put it.
幼いお前がそれに怯えてじいさまを不気味で恐ろしい人だと思い込んだとしても、
お兄ちゃんが何を言ってるのかわからない。
Angie bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. And she said she didn't understand. But in truth, she understood perfectly and was refusing to accept it. Yes. Imagine how she's gonna react when they bring up Ava. What if she's not that bad of a person? What if she ain't as bitchy, I
客まで
guess?
ハロウィンのプレゼント交換があったな。
何よあれ。あんな甘ったるいこと後ろ見上げてやるわけがない。
お前はまるで覚えてないんだ。
私もかつてプレゼントをもらったことがあるというの？覚えてない。そんなのあるわけがない。
オカルト好きで西洋かぶれのじいさまがハロウィンをやらないと思うか？
Look at him bringing up evidence like that.
もう親族会議の挨拶みたいなもんだったぜ。エンジェラってもらってるはずだ。幼いってのは残酷だな。
Wow. Yeah, I remember that.
じいさまが心を込めて選んだろうプレゼントもお前の心には全く残らなかった。
Isn't that funny? Does that remind you of anything?
私が幼かったから覚えてないだけで、あれが真実の10月4日だというの？
あの日も6年前と何も変わらず。
Damn, I just know. Oh fuck! Again, these short bursts of emotion. I'm just gonna be bawling my eyes out by the end.
じいさま
I
は
know it.
ハッピーハロウィンの声とともに客間にやってきたよ。そして俺との6年ぶりの再会に涙をこぼしてくれながら、じいさまは
Fuck.
エンジェが来れなかったことを
Oh, I didn't let him finish talking.
だからエンジェにぜひ渡してくれとキリエさんにプレゼントボックスを預けていた。
そんなプレゼント私は知らない。受け取ってない。
そうだ、お前に届けることはできなかった。
私は信じない。あんな後ろ宮金蔵なんて信じない。じゃあ親族会議はどうなの？遺産分配のためのきな臭いものじゃなかったの？親族兄弟たちはみんな資金繰りに困っていた。そのために金蔵の遺産を渇望していた。
エンジェはそんなことをどこで知った？
どこってそうでしょ？
We saw it.
それが真実でしょ？
幼い園児に親父が自分の会社の経営が苦しいなどと相談すると思うか？親父だけじゃない。クラウスおじさんやエヴァおばさん、ローザおばさんが、仮にするにしてもお前がいる前ですると思うか？
だって、でも本当でしょ？
That was the bottom line. Angie's words were not mistaken. Not only Rudolph, but Kraus, Hideyoshi, and Rosa as well, all had companies in money trouble. They did. People started talking about the Rokkenjima explosion accident as though it was some sort of conspiracy. And a mystery imagined by the public covered the islands. Weekly magazines and television shows researched the circumstances of Ginzo's children at the time, and in the future, where Angie lived, that research had been made public.
お前がそれを知ったのは1986年よりも後。
でも事実でしょ？事実は真実！
だから六軒島での親族たちは遺産をめぐってギスギスしていたってわけか？そこにエンジェの幼い頃の親族会議では粗相がないように行儀よくしているようにと親に重ねて言われて緊張した記憶が重なる。
私の知っている六軒島が、後宮家が間違ってるっていうの？間違ってるのはお兄ちゃんよ！あんなのありえない！あるわけがない！私は認めないわ。あんな後宮金蔵、断じてあんな後宮金蔵を受け入れることなんてできない！
エンジェは信じないのか？
信じない。お兄ちゃんがどういうつもりでこんなものを見せているのかわからないけど。
Man, you know what? It's this fucking. That's what's. Oh my! It's this damn fucking song, Eternity. So that's what's fucking with me. This goddamn song.
だってこれはお兄ちゃんのゲーム。いえ、ゲーム版じゃない。
Yeah, this is the game board, not reality, I guess.
ベアトだの、ベルンだの、何人もの魔女が私の運命を嘲笑い、そのゲームで屈服させようとしてきたわ。でも私は真実を求めている。魔女たちのまやかしなんか通用しない。なるほどね、魔女たちめ。最後の資格にお兄ちゃんを送り込んできたってわけだわ。
Oh, Angie.
そうだな。これは俺のゲームだ。
Every goddamn fucking line is.
だから確かにこれは俺の物語であり、だからこそもしもお前が島に来ることができたならという「if」を混ぜることができる。
ほら、お兄ちゃんの物語じゃない。全部お兄ちゃんの嘘っぱちの作り話じゃない。
There we go. Say it in blue truth. Maybe he'll.
そうだな。これは全て俺の作り話だ。
ほら、認めたわね。認めたじゃない。
Okay, now what? What is that gonna prove?
やっぱりこれはお兄ちゃんの嘘なのよ。どうして嘘をつくの？どうして私に真実を教えてくれないの？
Do you really want the truth? I mean, you just saw it, apparently, and you refused it, and now you're refusing this as well?
どうしても伝えたいことがあるからだ。
真実より大切なこと？何それ？わけわかんない。
それを分からせるためのものが俺のゲームだ。
Just as Beato's games were made to make Battler believe in witches, Battler's game was made to communicate something to Angie that was more important than the truth. Oh, games never bring about their intended ends by force. After all, Beato's game could never be won for all eternity unless Battler himself acknowledged his loss. Battler's game was the same. This was a game that Battler couldn't win unless Angie acknowledged it herself. So, Battler had advanced this game just as Beato had done in the past. To believe or not, to accept or not. The decision lay solely in the hands of the opponents. And so, Battler was trying to enshroud Angie with his own illusion.
ようやく理解したわ。これは私とお兄ちゃんのゲームなのね。
エンジェ、俺はお前とゲームをしているつもりはない。
いいえ、これはゲームだわ。
Oh, why are you so hard-headed, Angie? You know what? You're just like Battler.
私は1986年10月4日の真実が知りたいと願った。そしてお兄ちゃんは私にそれを見せると言ってこのゲームへ招いたわ。そしておかしな幻想を見せてそれが真実だと私に信じ込ませようとしている。
What possible reasoning could he have to do something like that?
おあいにくね。私魔女たちとのやりとりは慣れてるの。お兄ちゃんが優しそうな顔をして私を騙そうとしてることなんて百も承知なんだから。
The big brother knew that no words of his would have any effect on his enraged little sister. So, he quietly listened to Angie's words. But for Angie, even that was frustrating.
もうくだらない茶番は飽き飽きだわ。お兄ちゃんに真実を話す気がないと言うならもうおしまいにして。私は私の真実を自分で探す。お兄ちゃんには頼らない。そうよ。もともと頼るべき人間なんて私にはいなかったじゃない。私はいつだって一人ぼっちだったわよ。
悪いが、このゲームから降りることは許さ。
ああ、
Oh, fuck
そうだ
me.
ったわね。ゲームマスターが負けを認めない限りゲームは永遠に終わらないんだったっけ。
そんなつもりはないさ。黙って話を聞けってだけのことだ。
ああ、そう。なら黙ってることにするわ。プレイヤーがいなくても駒は勝手に動きゲームは進む。そうだったわよね。
そうだな。プレイヤーを離れ、少し傍観者になるといい。そしてまた戻ってきたい時に戻ればいい。
そうさせてもらうわ。これは根比べよ。お兄ちゃんが真実をごまかすことを諦めるまでのね。真実より大切なこと？意味わかんない。そんなものあるわけがない。
あるんだよ、エンジ。仮に俺の物語が真実でなかったとしても、お前は大切なものをこの島でなくしているんだ。
お父さん、お母さん、そしてお兄ちゃん。私がなくしたのは家族と、そして全てよ。
She spat out those words as though no further questioning would do any good and looked away. Even as he watched this, Battler's expression remained gentle.
勝手に進めなさいよ。じゃあね、お兄ちゃん。
Well,
物語だけはちゃんと見ていろよ。聞くだけでもいい。
気が向いたらね。
oh, come on. Don't be hard-headed like that. Well, fuck. She really is just like fucking Battler. And now we're fully on the... Oh, I was gonna say, it's getting blurry. Angie's eyes clouded. She's crying. Then, a particularly strong gust of wind blew by, sending her hair flying. The wind must have been carrying some dust with it. Angie's nose twitched, and she sneezed loudly.
お兄ちゃん、
なんだい？
いつまでここにいるの？なんかお天気変。
So
ゲ
she...
ストハウスに帰ろうよ。
Okay, so she relinquished control. She is not controlling Peace Angie. Angie's eyes weren't cloudy anymore. However, the tone and atmosphere about those eyes seemed somehow different from before. In a manner typical of young girls, Angie signaled that she was too bored and wanted to go do something. This Angie was clearly a 6-year-old Angie.
そうだね。
Right?
じゃあ、エンジェはゲストハウスに戻ってるといい。お兄ちゃんはまだここにいるよ。
どうして？もうすぐ雨が降ってくるよ。
そろそろ来るはずなんだ。だから、俺は待ってるよ。
Who exactly?
待ってるって？誰？え？
How did I know? Then, to Angie's eyes, it looked as though the strong winds were now carrying flakes of gold along with them. No, she had definitely seen something, but she wasn't able to describe what she had seen. So, to her, it had seemed like flakes of gold dancing on the wind.
来たか。ずいぶん待ったぜ。
It was as though he was talking to the wind. Oh shit. Yo, this fucking song. Battler spoke to the empty rose garden. That can't be right. After all, it was clear from his words that he was talking to someone right in front of him. So, Angie thought it must be someone that she alone couldn't see, and she rubbed her eyes. Then, when she opened her eyes wide, another large gust of wind blew past her. Damn, this fucking song again. This entire OST is so fucking hot. She shut her eyes immediately, and when she timidly opened them, from the other end of the rose garden, yes, from the path that led up from the harbor, a person appeared. To Angie, it looked as though she had appeared along with a cloud of gold flakes carried by the winds.
遅えぞ、ベアト。
そうか、むしろ早いぞ。
たまにはお前も一緒に船に乗ればいいんだ。
柵に捕まってお前と一緒に叫ぶか？
いいぜ、叫ぼうぜ。落ちる落ちるってな。
落ちる。
なるほど、それも悪くなかった。認めよう。どうやらわらわが来るのは遅かったらしい。
The pair casually walked up to each other and hugged. They hugged. It looked like a pair of friends being reunited after several years. Angie, surprised by this unfamiliar woman, looked for somewhere to hide. However, her eyes met Beato's and she lost her chance to escape.
おお、そなたはエンジェか。
She was shocked to hear this unfamiliar woman suddenly use her name.
こやつも6歳の頃はなかなかに可愛かったではないか。
お兄ちゃん、この人誰？
お兄ちゃんの友人だ。
優しい。
Okay, he said, okay, they did say like a pair of friends.
それはあんまりだろうが。
お兄ちゃんの友達？
こいつはベアトリーチェ。おじいちゃんから聞いたことないか。後ろ宮家に黄金を授けてくれた。お
God damn it! Have I heard that before? The Golden Witch. Now I remember. That was a scary witch who would snatch you away off into the forest if you didn't listen to your parents or stayed up too late on Rokenjima.
雨の夜、真っ暗な森を窓から眺めてる。魔女と目が合って
Well, she's right here.
という
And it is a
ことは
rainy night.
わらわは夜更かしの子供を見張るため寒い雨の中窓を一つ一つ覗き込まねばならぬというのか。
Yeah, what a fucking fun
あ
time
ま
out
り
there.
に無体
What a waste of time.
確かにエンジそれはお前に夜更かしをさせないための親の作り話だ。彼女はそんなことはしない。
よかろう名乗ろうぞ。わらわは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。
のお孫さんだ。
孫
Yep.
お孫さんとはなんともしまらぬ呼び名であるな。
I gotta admit, it really does, and I'm not entirely sure how to look at her with that part.
だってそうだろう。じいさまに黄金を授けて黄金の魔女と呼ばれたのはお前のばあさまの話だ。
確かにそうではある。黄金の魔女の孫か。
That doesn't sound like a powerful title.
そのキャッチコピーもう少しマシなものにはならぬのか。
How about Resurrection of the Golden Witch? I don't know. Or the Resurrected Witch. Something.
ああそうだよ。今日の親族会議に招かれたお客さんだ。
怖い魔女じゃないの？暗い森に私をさらったりしない？
おのれルドルフに切り絵め。一体わらわを何だと思って吹き込んだのやら。わらわはそんなことはせぬわ。後で厳重に抗議する。ぶっぶん。
She looked like a very emotional person. But she wasn't at all what Angie had expected the creepy golden witch would look like. She was very loud, overreacting to everything. Nothing at all like the witch Maria Onechan had talked about, who had lived for 1,000 years and had various servants from the demon world. She looked well, like an energetic young woman whom Angie's mom might have been good friends with. Her brother and the witch talked together happily, like a pair of close friends. Dogs often don't trust people when meeting them for the first time. However, people say that dogs feel more at ease with a person once they see their owner acting friendly towards them. Surely, something familiar to this was taking place in Angie's heart. As this pushy, temperamental woman who called herself a witch chatted happily with Battler, Angie watched her behavior closely. Damn, studying everything.
その鍵は？
Beato noticed the golden key hanging from Angie's neck. Angie automatically grasped it defensively.
エンジェの大切な鍵だ。
After hearing these vague words, the witch stared blankly for a second. But, almost immediately, she seemed to understand what he meant.
なるほど。そういうことか。
すべきことを明確にした方が分かりやすいだろうと思ってな。
安心せよエンジェ。そなたの大切な鍵を奪ったりなどせぬぞ。
本当に？
She doesn't need to say that in red for me to believe her.
それはそなたの鍵であり、そなたが決めることである。バトラ、そしてわらわたちもそなたを導く道しるべの役にしか過ぎぬのだから。
When handing her this key, her brother had said that it was very important and she had to take good care of it. Angie didn't have a clue what the key was for, but it looked like Beato did. However, just like her brother had done earlier, Beato only spoke in riddles. This irritated Angie, but for the time being, the Golden Witch had said that she didn't intend to steal this key, so Angie calmed down a little.
あなたはこの鍵が何に使うものなのか知っているの？
もちろんであるとも。だが、それを教えるわけにはいかぬ。
Really?
どうして？
その鍵をどう使うかは、 そなたが自分で決めねばならぬからだ。
The witch said the same thing as my brother. The pair nodded to each other, but it was all Greek to me. What is that supposed to mean? It felt like someone had laid out a riddle that everyone knew but me, and everyone was making fun of me.
やがてわかる。
Well, that's how she's taking it.
無理に考える必要はない。
Angie held the key tightly. Even if she didn't understand what it meant, it was her own key, and her big brother had told her to take good care of it. Fuck, for some reason I'm tripping on my words so much recently. With her youthful suspicion, she was scared that the witch might ask her to hand it over, seeing that she'd teach her how to use it if she did. Of course, her thoughts showed up clearly on her face. The witch couldn't help but laugh at that honest expression.
安心せよ。そなたのその鍵は誰にも奪うことはできぬのだ。
誰にも奪えない？
そういう魔法が込められているとでも理解せよ。とにかく安心するがよい。わらわもバトラも、そして島の誰もそなたから鍵を奪うようなことはせぬ。
本当に？
ああ、本当だよ。そういう魔法がかかってるんだ。
The key was hanging around her neck, like an ordinary necklace. And she could take it off right now if she wanted. And if an adult tried to use force, it seemed like it would be easy for them to take it away. However, both her brother and the witch said that it was protected by a magic that would stop anyone from stealing it.
魔法なんて本当にあるの？
Even the 6-year-old Angie knew about the word magic. However, she also realized that real magic didn't exist, and that certain kinds of magic tricks were sometimes called magic. However, her brother and the witch were talking about magic itself.
ああ、
Wow.
魔法は存在する。
Is something gonna happen? Imagine this was everything right now was part of Beatrice's game, and she starts laughing right now.
本当に？
マリアもよくわらわのことを話しているであろう。魔女はいると、魔法は存在すると、そなたによく語ったはずだぞ。
True. Maria had talked about that many times. When it was part of a game, Angie had believed her, more or less. However, Angie was, in some ways, sharp for her age. And when she heard Maria talking happily about magic, she sometimes thought that such a thing couldn't really exist.
なら見せて。
ん？
She demands
見せ
proof!
て魔法。じゃなきゃ信じない。
Look, she even got her fist up.
おいおい。レアとは島に来たばかりで、まだ屋敷に挨拶にも行ってないんだぞ。
Battler spoke as though he was trying to smooth something over. When she heard that, Angie became sure that magic didn't exist after all.
魔女なんて嘘っぱち。
What?
エンジェは知ってるもん。
おい、よすんだ。レアとが気を悪くする。
よいよい。魔女に会えば誰だって同じことを問うだろう。いつもならばこのような幼子の挑発に付き合いはせぬのだが、バトラの妹であるからな。特別に披露してやってもよい。
いいのか？
よいよい。では見せよう、エンジ。
うん。
Okay. Let's take a look. I'm imagining she's gonna do the same thing she did for Maria in creating magic. Also, she's not wearing... the dress that she's wearing. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me go look at it again. This is a good excuse to look at... Oh, she's here! Okay, let me see this. She has a one-winged eagle on her stockings. Rudolph and Kyrie's daughter. Battler's younger sister, from a different mother. She gets sick easily, but she managed to get better just in time to attend this year's family conference. She's so happy this year, surrounded by her beloved family and relatives. Okay, Beato's here. Yes, I wanted to look at her. Okay. Oh, wow, they have her own specific... Hold on, let me read this as well. She has already surpassed the limitations of humans, just as demons do, to lend her power. Okay. She has been called here for a ceremony involving the return of a vast amount of gold, which the Ushiromiya family received from her grandmother. Rokkanjima no longer has any need for the old arguments and tragedies. Yes. And again, look at where it's on her thigh again. And on her other thigh. And again, coincidentally, you can just see it. That's crazy. But looking at her appearance. Whatever. Though Angie had challenged the witch to show her if she could, now that she was about to be shown, she looked a bit hesitant. Listen, she's like that a lot. She wanted to know the truth. She got the truth. She didn't like it. She got Battler's side. She didn't like it either. And now she's getting shown what she wanted to know, and she don't like it. Can she make up her mind? She gulped, then stared up at the witch's face. The witch held out her left hand, bringing it close to Angie's face. Then she slowly spread her fingers. Angie, thinking that she was about to be turned into a frog, shrank back. However, after waiting a while with her teeth clenched, she realized that nothing was happening. So, as her fear turned into irritation, she began to argue.
何も起こらないの？
早とちりするでな。まだ魔法を使ってはおらぬぞ。おれ、わらわの手のひらをよーく見るがよい。種も仕掛けもない。
Oh, so that's what she was doing. Now that she finally understood, Angie checked both sides of the witch's hand.
何もないよ。
よく見ておれ。こうして握る。そして人差し指を立てる。
She stretched out her index finger and held it right in front of Angie's eyes. Angie, refusing to show weakness by pulling back, stood her ground and concentrated on the fingertip.
人差し指の先をよーく見ておれ。行くぞ。早いぞ。
Okay. The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing at the heavens. Just as Angie looked up to see the finger raised high, it swung down as though trying to dodge her gaze. In that manner, the finger swung up, down, left, right, then left again, as though Angie was playing a game of Achi Muite Hoi. What is that? Very quickly, let me just look at it. Feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertip, Angie swung her face this way and that, looking serious. Ever since she was very young, Angie had always hated to lose. She would take even the most trivial game seriously, determined not to lose to the adults. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Angie didn't lose track of it. Then, the witch's high-pointing finger took a sudden swing downwards, and when it stopped, her index finger was curled up, and her hand was held in a simple fist. Could it be that something was going to come out of that hand? Angie, suspecting that this might happen, had followed the finger very closely. There had been no chance for that once empty hand to grab something. Look at her.
手を開く。
The witch slowly opened her right fist, and there... Oh, this song.
どうしてお兄ちゃん。
The witch gave the cutely wrapped candy to Angie as a present. Angie took it and desperately searched for some kind of trick on it, but it was just an everyday, ordinary candy.
どうして？デジだでしょお兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃん。
いいや、魔法だよ。 エンジェもずっと見てただろ。
I was watching the whole time. So how? She didn't like it, but she was unable to see how that could have been anything other than magic. As the little sister furrowed her brow and bit her lower lip, her brother gently told her once more that it was magic.
そろそろ屋敷へ挨拶に行く。バトラも付き合うがよい。わらは一人では窒息してしまうわ。
そうか。じゃあお供させてもらうかな。エンジェはどうする？ゲストハウスに戻ってるか？
お兄ちゃんと一緒がいい。
She still couldn't accept it, but maybe, just maybe, she still looked grumpy. But it looked like she was becoming at least slightly interested in this witch.
さあ、では行こうではないか。黄金の魔女の帰還であるぞ。
黄金の魔女の孫の帰還だけどな。
そのキャッチコピー、もう少しなんとかならぬものか。
The big brother and the witch really did seem close. Playing off each other like a pair of comedians, they started heading for the mansion. All the while, Angie held on to the corner of her brother's sleeve, trying to make sure he didn't forget about her. How could he? The VIP room was filled with the sweet smell of pumpkin tea, and packed with smiles and laughter.
それはよい。元気そうで何よりだ。
そなたも元気そうで何よりだ。余命いくばくとは肩払いたいわ。
そなたに元気を分けてもらってるだけだ。書斎に戻れば枯れ果てた年寄りが窓辺でほうけているだけよ。
そなたの死ぬ死ぬ詐欺にはもううんざりしている。もう諦め、100まで元気に生きると誓ってしまえ。
俺もじいさまには6年ぶりに会ったけど、全然変わってねえんで驚いたもんな。
バトラめ、この6年で世辞まで学んだか。残念だがそれは節穴というものよ。すっかりかっきり老いぼれておるわ。
金蔵が100歳になってピンピンしているのに1000円かけるぞ。
ああ、俺も100歳になってもじいさまは今と変わらないさ。
これ以上褒めても何も出ぬというのに。
Kinzo laughed cheerily. Beato, who sat next to Battler, was also laughing merrily. Angie stood all alone by the window, staring at the others and trying to figure out what sort of relationship the witch of the portrait had with her grandfather. There was a knock on the door.
源氏か。入るがよい。
失礼いたします。クラウス様とナツヒ様がお越しでございます。
お父さん。おお、バトラ君も一緒かね。
ご無沙汰しております、ベアトリーチェさん。
What? They're all familiar with her?
おかわりはありませんか？
相変わらずであるわ。さあ座れ座れ。エンジェもどうしてそんな窓際にいるというのか。こっちへ来て座るがいい。
She's
エン
scared.
ジェ、こっちにおいで。
ここで見てるからいい。
Angie grasped the candy she had gotten from Beato tightly, and with a still wary gaze, she continued to stare. Genji offered her a chair, but Angie just shook her head. She's just
好き
staring?
にさせてやりなさい。さあ、クラウスもナツヒもそこに座るがいい。
何か重要な話でも？俺とエンジェは席を外した方がいいかな。
おいおい、そなたが帰ったらわらわは誰に相槌を打たせればいいというのだ。金蔵、バトラがいても構わぬであろう。
隠す話でもない。構わぬ。
However, he had called Krasnodski to the VIP room to meet Beatrice, the Golden Witch. It was hard to imagine that Ginzo wanted to have a casual conversation. After Ginzo said he didn't mind, Beato also asked Battler to stay, so we decided to do so. In order to avoid getting in the way of their conversation, Battler stood up from the sofa and walked over to Angie's window. When the big brother finally came back to Angie, she clung to his waist, as though determined not to let him go away again.
ああ、なるほど。どうしてわらわがエンジェに嫌われているか。
どうしてだ？エンジェは別にお前のことを嫌ってなんかないだろ。
これだからバトラは女心がわからぬのだ。
Beato smiled at Angie, but the latter turned to look the other way.
女は幼くとも女であるな。
When Beato stopped laughing, the conversation switched gears. Why on earth did Ginzo summon Krasnodski to the VIP room, and what was he going to talk about? Everyone felt automatically silent.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェよ。滅ぶ運命にあったはずの後ろ宮家を救ってくれた大恩、一日たりとも忘れたことはないぞ。
感謝せい感謝せい。
じいさまが感謝してるのはお前のばあさんの方だからな。
やかましい。
いいや、同じことです。莫大な黄金を3代にもわたり後ろ宮家に貸し付けてくれました。それも無償で。
本当にいくら感謝してもしたりません。
黄金などわらわにはレンガも同じよ。置き場もないから金蔵が預かっててくれてたさ。
Really?
ひゅー。死ぬ前に一度は言ってみたいセリフだぜ。
黄金の魔女ってお金持ちなの？
そりゃそうだな。何しろ10トンもの黄金をほいっとじいさまに貸し出したんだからな。
Yes, at the drop of a hat, at the snap of a finger.
そうだ。必ず返すと約束し、もう数十年も借りている。その恩はもはや返しきれないほどだ。
当家が感謝の気持ちを忘れたことはありませんねえ、あなた。
無論だとも3代にわたりベアトリーチェさんたちが気前よく貸してくれなかったら後ろ宮家はとうに滅んでいました。辣腕のお父さんとて軍資金がなければ何もできなかったのですから。
もはや金が金を呼び、黄金の軍資金は静かに眠るのみだ。クラウス、私が何を話そうとしているかわかるか？
I think I know what you're gonna say. Since the moment Kraus had been summoned here, he had guessed about the thing Ginzo's words now hinted at. All things borrowed must someday be returned. That day had finally come.
はい、わかっています、お父さん。
She gonna get some interest along with this return?
ベアトリーチェよ。私はもう追い先はわずかだ。おそらく今日のこれが私とお前が会うことのできる最後の親族会議になろう。
何を気弱なことを。そんなことがあろうはずもない。
Beato alone laughed. She looked at Battler, so he laughed all along with her, but Ginzo and the others remained silent. Apparently, there existed some major concerns about Ginzo's health. But I mean, you can't really help it if you do.
来年会おうと絶対の約束をすることはおそらくできる。私はいついかなる時でもできぬ約束をした試しは一度もない。
そのようなことを胸を張って言われると、わらわも返す言葉がないぞ。本気で言っているのだ。
ベアトリーチェよ、もうしっかりとけじめをつけたいのだ。私がこうして元気であるうちにな。だから私は今日それを決心することとした。
おじいさん、何の話をしているの？
Grandpa is talking about, you motherfuckers ain't gonna be rich no more.
静かに。じいさまは今からとても大事な話をする。
By now, even Battler understood what Ginzo was about to propose. Beato probably realized it too. Shit, we're gonna be living in the fucking dumps. At one time, the Ushiromiya family had ruled the skies like an eagle before being crushed in the Great Kanto earthquake. The eagle had one of its wings torn off. Wow, what a thing. What a fucking metaphor. As it crawled in the mud on the point of death. Then, they were saved by the Golden Witches. Golden miracle. I'ma say gold like that until I fucking die. Under the Golden Witches' protection. And I'm still doing this shit with my hands. The eagle had nursed its wound for many years. And now, finally, it was time for the eagle to leave the nest the witch had provided.
そなたの祖母より借り受けた黄金をすべてそなたに返還する。クラウス、異論はないな。もとよりあの黄金は後ろ宮家のものではないのだ。
I mean, you just said that you are making money with that money. So, whether the gold's there or not, I mean, it's not gonna change anything.
無論です。何の異論もありま
And
せん。
even if it did,
良いのか、クラウス。そなたは投資家であろう。金はいくらあっても足りぬであろうが、金蔵から黄金を譲り受けたいと思っていたのではないのか。
それを言われれば確かに否定は難しい。しかし元より父とあなたの契約であり、そしてもともとあなたの黄金です。
主人は仮にも次期当主。お父様が一代にて当家を復興させたように、主人も一代で当家を繁栄させるでしょう。
Wow. Have the fucking balls to do that shit. Not the balls. Fuck, the words. Oh god, why are the words slipping my mind? Have the ambition to do it.
そしてそれは主人と私で成し遂げることです。
よくぞ言った。その息であるぞ。
Yes, the spirit.
10トンの黄金に未練はないというか。やれやれ、大したものよ。黄金の魔法が効かぬ相手には魔女も型なしであるな。
そなたに黄金を返還する。だが黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが後宮家にとって最大の恩人であることは未来永劫変わらぬぞ。
Or the Golden Witch's grandchild. To return the gold once lent by the Golden Witch. It was both simple and clear. However, the expression worn by the Golden Witch herself was slightly lonely, and she couldn't understand why this was.
返すというものをいらん、やるとも言えぬしな。 やれやれ。
Beato rose from the sofa. Then she walked up to the window and looked down at the rose garden, waving in the wind.
クラウスよ、我が遺産についても私が生きているうちにお前たちに贈与することにした。
Really?
お父さん。
Are we gonna speak about that tonight?
私が死ねば葬式で大忙しな上に遺産はどうするのかとエヴァたちががっついてくるであろうが今から分けておけば葬式が気楽になるというものよ。クラウス、メモを取れ。
No way, a will!
源氏も書記を頼む。これより財産の分け方を説明する。
Holy shit, a will? He's gonna write down his last will and testament. Damn, he said he didn't want to do this shit. But hey, this is obviously a different Ginzo. Ginzo immediately began explaining how the inheritance would be split up. Battler, realizing that he shouldn't be listening in on this conversation, walked over to where Beato was loitering by the window.
よー、大金持ち。黄金が余ってるなら少しは引き取るぜ。
Damn!
薪に変えて炉にくべれば
Smooth with it, smooth with
程
it.
度の使い道はあるというものよ。
どうしたよ。
I heard you can eat gold. How about, you know, I mean, we actually could turn into a gold. I mean, there's gold schlager. You can put gold leaf on fucking meat.
なんだかつまらなそうな顔してんな。
Gold schlager is fucking delicious, by the way. I love that shit.
とうとうこの日が来たか。寂しいものよな。
そうか。
わらわの魔法で後宮家はよみがえり、そして六軒島は生まれた。その後宮家がもうわらわの黄金の力には頼らぬという。
Well, when you put it like that, it is a bit of a somber tone.
わらわの魔
Sad.
法から巣立つということだ。
そうだな。そういうことになるな。
わらわは六軒島を魔女の島とわらわの島と呼んできた。
そうだったな。
その六軒島がわらわに黄金を魔法を返すという。六軒島が魔法から目覚める日が来たということだ。
Let me read that just once more. Rokkenjima is returning the gold to me. The day has come for Rokkenjima to awaken from my magic.
そうだな。
最後のゲームと分かってはいたさ。しかしこういう形ではあってもそれを切り出されると意外に応えるものよ。
So she knows this is the last game.
お前って結構さっぱりしてそうに見えて未練タラタラなタイプなのな。
Wait a minute, is this the chick Beatrice from episode 6?
残忍で失
It is right. Oh fuck, and I'm just catching that?
そうだな。お前はそういうやつだもんな。
わらわとそなたのためのゲームだった。
Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me I was just thinking about let me catch what they're saying. The obstinate ones are usually the quickest to grow attached, and then to feel lonely.
楽しかったぜ。お前が6年の間に練りに練った愉快なゲームだった。
かつてわらわはそれを互いを苛む永遠の拷問と称した。
Yes, there it is.
永遠が永遠であると信じられるうちが一番幸せなのさ。物事には 全て終わりがある。そしてそれを自覚しなければならない。
目を背けずにな。
昇らぬ日はないように、沈まぬ日もねえってことさ。
Of course, Angie didn't have the slightest idea what her brother and the witch were talking about. However, even as young as she was, she could feel that the pair had spent an incredibly long time together, and that they understood each other so well that they might as well be a married couple. Then, Beato noticed her reaction.
レンジ、わらわたちはかつて互いのためにゲームを積もう。しかし、それはもう終わった。このゲームは今、わらわたちのためでなく、そなたのために紡がれている。
They were talking in riddles again. Grasping the key that hung by her chest, Angie looked at her brother's face.
今日という日の猫箱の中身を、俺たちはエンジェに届けなくちゃならない。お前に持たせたその鍵は、猫箱を開くための鍵。
猫箱って？
今日という日のことだ。
エンジェがあれほどたどり着きたいと願った。お兄ちゃんは魔法の奇跡でエンジェを招いた。エンジェは最後の魔女として今日という日を語り継がなくちゃいけない。
それは私がここに残ってはいけないということ？
Angie's tone was slightly tense. She understood what her brother meant, and it made her frown.
私は1986年の六軒島へたどり着きたくて、どれほど長い間苦しんだことか。そして私はやっとたどり着いたの。なのにそれを追い出すの？お兄ちゃんは言ったわ。私が自分で決めていいって。
そうだな、確かにそう言った。
帰らないわよ、私は。そしてまるで私を甘やかすかのようなこのおかしな作られた物語もやめて。私は今日という日の真実を知りたいの。
So I guess she came back to take control of the piece.
12年を経ても遡りても気難しい女であるな。
うるさいわね。あんたには聞いてないわよ。
Oh, hey now.
あんたこそ何よ、そのざまは。黄金の魔女は復活の儀式のためにやってきたんじゃないの？雷鳴と共に島に現れ、これから13人もの人々を生贄に捧げようとしてるんでしょ？そのあんたがなんでこんなにものんびり団らんしてるのよ。わけがわかんない。
わけがわからぬのはそなたの方であるぞ。なんだそなたは。わらわにそんなにも人殺しがしてほしいのか。
あんたはそれを物語に記してメッセージボトルに封じて海に投じたわ。後の世界にはそのうちの2本が伝わってる。どちらもひどい連続殺人の物語じゃない。
2本しか流れ着かなかったとは残念。一番の力作だったランドが人目に触れなかったのは残念なことだ。
前から聞きたかったんだが、あのメッセージボトルは何なんだ？
そなたとのゲームを練りながらその過程で生み出した派生の物語のようなものよ。一つのゲーム版から異なる複数の物語を無限に紡ぎ出せることに気づき、面白くなってしまってな。
いつか俺に読ませようと書き溜めてたわけか。
あまりの力作にそなたを待つのが惜しくなってな。孤島物の古典に習い、わらわもそれを瓶に封じて海に投じてみたんだ。 ミステリアスであろう。
Yes, that is very mysterious.
バカにしないで。あれはあんたの犯行計画書よ。あなたは黄金のありかをちらつかせながら親族の不和を煽り、残酷な連続殺人事件を目論むのよ。
1998年ではわらわはそういうことになっておるのか。なるほど、無理もないことであるな。
はあ？何を開き直ってんのよ。私を拍子抜けさせようと目論んでるの？私は騙されないわよ、ベアトリーチェ。お兄ちゃん、私に魔女はいると屈服させたいんでしょ？その手には乗るもんですか？私はお兄ちゃんの手なんか借りなくたって一人で真実にたどり着いてみせる。
Wow, so this is how Beatrice felt
こ
during
こ
all
が
those
その
games.
真実であるというのにか。そなたはかつてグレーテルと名乗ったが、どうやらミチルと名乗った方がふさわしいようだぞ。
Middle?
いい加減にして。
Angie tried to slap Beato's cheek. However, the difference between their heights was so great that Beato dodged before the hand could reach her.
バカバカしい。バカバカしい。私は認めないわよ。こんな茶番が真実なんて絶対に認めないんだから。
After Angie yelled those words, her eyes grew cloudy. They cleared up almost immediately. By that time, she had already gone back to her 6-year-old self.
そうだな、エンジェ。それがわらわが残した罪であり、最後の物語を用意する理由なのだ。
As Angie stared blankly, uncomprehending, Beato gently patted her head.
そうとも、この物語は茶番である。真実であろうはずもない。しかしそれでも、いや、そうしてでも、そなたにはどうしても伝えたいことがあるのだ。
ベアト、それはもう俺が伝えてる。それ以上無理強いしたくない。
そうか。
お兄ちゃんたちが何の話をしているのかわかんない。エンジェもう眠いよ。
そうだな。俺たちはおいとました方が良さそうだ。
金蔵よ、わらわはまだここにいなければならぬのか？
すまぬ。そなたはもう少しここにおれ。続けるぞクラウス。それでだな、福音の家への援助についてはクラウスが後宮家当主の義務としてこれを継続し。
Okay. So he's... Okay,
や
okay.
れやれ。すまんなバトラ。わらわは送ってやれぬようだ。源氏よ、この二人をゲストハウスまで送ってやってくれぬか？
かしこまりました。
They got a lot of important bullshit to talk about.
バトラ様、エンジ様、ご案内いたします。
ありがとう。じゃあな、ベアト。後で。
うん。そなたとは語りたいことが山ほどだ。それに今夜は水入らずで過ごしたいぞ。たまには夫婦らしいこともせぬとな。
What? I have a amount of things I want to discuss with you, and I'd like us to have some time alone tonight. We must act the part of a couple every now and then.
なんだよ、夫婦らしいことって。
Yeah, what exactly do you mean? Well, I mean, Battler did always bring up the fact that he wanted to squeeze... Because Angie had gotten so bored, she had grown very sleepy. it would probably be best for her to take a quick nap. Battler walked through the windy rose garden, pulling her by the hands. When he questioned their guide, Genji, he learned that the old servant had known beforehand of Ginzo's desire to return the gold to Beato and settle the inheritance problem early.
親方様は人生を終えるという最後の仕事の準備をお始めになったということでございます。
自分が死んだ後のことなんて人は普通考えないぜ。やっぱじいさまはスケールが一つ違うぜ。
今日は
Man that powerful?
後宮家が黄金の魔女の庇護から飛び立つ新しい飛翔の日なのでございます。
確かに。かっこいい言い方だな。
It's very grandiose. Apparently, the grand Halloween party was to be held tonight. Oh, a party! And Golda and the others had been ordered to start getting ready for it. Is a lot of people in goat masks gonna come out? However, it wouldn't be just a party. It wouldn't just be a party. I'm fucking changing the words around. What the hell? It would be a ceremony to mark the return of Beatrice's gold. Wow! At the start of dinner, grandfather would make the announcements, and the Ushiromiya family would give thanks and applause to the three generations of Beatrices for their generosity over the years. Apparently, this was what he had planned.
親父たちにはまだそれは秘密なんすか？
一応は秘密にしております。ただ親方様のお考えは唐突に今日思いついたものではありません。もう何年も前から今日という日について考えを重ねられ、時にご兄弟の皆様に相談もされておりました。おそらく今宵の発表に驚かれる方はいないでしょう。
うちのクソ親父、どうやら会社のことで金の工面が大変そうだし、じいさまからのちょいと早い遺産のプレゼントに舞い上がっちまうかな。
むしろ大きな責任に奮い立たれるでしょう。
Galvanized.
ルドルフ様は島を出られ、大成し見事な成功を収められました。しかしそれは親方様の財産によって支えられたものです。
それが唐突に遺産をドンと出され、これからはお前の力だけで頑張るのだぞとなるわけか。かえってプレッシャーがあるかもな。
ご兄弟の皆様は親方様というあまりに偉大すぎる父親にもう何十年も苦しんできました。偉大すぎる親はただ存在するだけで子には重しになるものなのです。
それが今夜本当の意味で一人前になって巣立つってわけだ。
親方様は今宵を黄金の返還式とお呼びになるようです。ですが最初は生前葬と呼ぼうと考えておいででした。
生前の葬式じゃなんだか落ち込んじまう。新しい出発の日、巣立ちの日って方が確かに後宮家にはぴったりだぜ。
お兄ちゃん、眠い？
ほら、もうゲストハウスに着くよ。お母さんの部屋へ行くか、それともいとこ部屋に？
どこでもいい。晩ご飯まで寝てる。
Uh-oh. Angie, still holding her brother's hand, crouched down and looked as though she was about to fall asleep. Battler lifted her onto his back and carried her. As she left the warmth and safe No, as she felt the warmth and safety of her brother's back, Angie drifted off into sleep. What happened that day? Just what on earth happened on October 4th and 5th, 1986? Because of the massive size of the Rokkenjima explosion accident, the time the explosion occurred was known almost exactly, down to the minute. Oh shit, so I'll be honest, I completely forgot about this. So in episode 4, they must have mentioned this and I just completely forgot about it. And the only thing I remember is, I think it was Okonogi, right, who mentioned that she was in Guadorian, but I don't remember them talking about an explosion. At least this big. The time was the stroke of midnight on October 5th. Really? The sheer improbability of that time proved that the explosion was produced by artificial means. Later on, the following statements were collected from individuals who knew Ushiromiya Ginzo when he was alive. During his lifetime, Ushiromiya Ginzo built a clock rigged to blow up the islands at exactly midnight. This clock was apparently inside his secret study. When he felt mentally concerned and wanted to think up a brilliant plan, he would activate that device and use the tension of the approaching midnight to bring some flash of inspiration to him. While Ushiromiya Ginzo still lived, this was only thought of as a tall tale about this eccentric man. But the fact that the Rokkenjima explosion accident occurred at exactly midnight supported the story.
クレイジーな話だわ。
その狂気の狭間に魔法めいた力を求めたに違いありません。
Did he actually say this shit?
精神的な
It's been so
瞬発
long.
力とでも言えば、眉唾な話でもないでしょう。
Professor Otsuki spoke passionately. Witch hunters, enthusiasts who treat the mad fantasy surrounding Rokkenjima as their plaything. Angie had no reason to love these people, who embellished the deaths of her family just for the fun of it. And yet, how ironic it was for Angie, who wanted to know what happened that day. That these people were the ones who knew most about that island.
その仕掛けを使えば、島を跡形なく吹き飛ばすことができる。後には何も残らない。あそこで何があったとしても、なかったことにできる。
後宮エバ氏が何がしかの陰謀の首謀者であるとする説は早くからささやかれてきました。しかしあれだけの大爆発をいかにして起こしたのかが説明できずにいました。
その仕掛け時計によりそれが可能であったことが証明された。
さようです。後宮エバ氏は24時に爆発すること、そしてその爆発半径について十分に理解した上でクワドリアンに避難していたと考えられます。
Yes.
財産を独り占めにするためにみんなを殺して爆発によってその痕跡を消した。
そう考えるとロッケン島のミステリーは最も筋が通ります。エバ氏があの島で何があったのか語ろうとしないことにも合点がいくわけです。
Would that be ignoring the heart? Where was that rigged clock, and how did Ava find it? Several forgeries have speculated on this matter. There's no need for me to waste time thinking about it. Ava activated the clock device, hid in Guadorian to escape the blast, but I thought the explosion would sink the entire island, and was therefore the only one to survive. That was everything, the answer, which eloquently told the whole story. When Ava first adopted me, our relationship wasn't as bad as it later became. I asked her several times, what happened that day? Every single time she answered, it was to say that she didn't remember, or she didn't want to remember. That's looking at it with the heart, isn't it? But, well, she must have been flustered at the time. The very first time I asked, she answered like this. Let me say this really quickly. Back when I first read episode 4, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, without love, it cannot be seen, and what they were saying. I was like, what if she was true? And I was thinking about what Okonogi said about, if you do hear the truth and you don't like what you hear, you dislike it, will you still believe it? Him bringing up things like, oh, let's say there's a guy you hate, and you hear that fucker donated to charity, for example. Would you believe it? You'll say, nah, his dumbass didn't do that shit. I can tell you about it. It was a slip of the tongue. She knew what had happened that day, and she left this world without telling even a bit of the truth. She sealed the truth in a cat box and left this world, taking the key with her. There can be only one answer. She was behind everything. She got all of the family wealth to herself and became super rich. And afterwards, she lamented the fact that her beloved son would never inherit any of what she had created, and she cursed me. Just remembering that old bitch makes me want to vomit. Damn, man, that is hateful right there. What happened that day? That's what I want to know. It's my only goal, the only reason I'm still alive. However, later on, I had to come to grips with the fact that my goal was an abstract one. After all, even if I don't know what happened that day, as for who did commit the crime, the who done it, that is already clear. Ushiromiya Eva. She's the culprit. That has never changed since the beginning. Yes. I'm not trying to find out what happened that day. I'm trying to find out what Ushiromiya did that day. If I can reveal that, then I can expose Ava's evil, even though she has already died. That is my true goal. The police also suspect that a crime might have taken place, and they did investigate. However, no matter how much they inspected the crater that had once been Rokkenjima, they didn't find anything at all. How could they? The public and the witch hunters cornered Ava with several pieces of circumstantial evidence, but they were unable to find a single piece of physical evidence. And so, even though Ava was only the merest fraction of a shade away from guilt, they were unable to expose her crime. My goal isn't anything as vague as learning what happened that day. It's to expose the crime Ushiromiya Ava committed that day and to have my revenge, so now she's being truthful to herself. I can't expose Ushiromiya Ava's crime. So people are treating the events on the island as though some bizarre golden witch did it all. Defeating the golden witch means exposing Ushiromiya Ava's crime for what it was. I won't forgive Ushiromiya Ava. I swear. I will hate her and take revenge for my family. That is Ushiromiya Anji's one and only reason for living. We're here again?
それだけ嫌われりゃ会長もあの世で笑いが止まらねえでしょうぜ。
うるさいわね。あのクソババアの罪を暴くのよ。全て吹き飛ばして完全犯罪なんて私は認めない。絶対に。
つまりお嬢の旅は家族のための復讐の旅ってわけだ。
悪い？
まさか生きる目的があるの大いに結構ですね。
それ切ってくれる？
おやエムザッキーはお嫌いで
And Makusa turned the radio off. The dull sound of the engine became the BGM that filled the car.
昔？弔い合戦なんて。
別にそれを生きる目的にしてる連中に戦地じゃよく会いましたから。
あんた傭兵で戦場に行ったことあるのよね。
まあほどほどには。
家族の仇を取るために戦っている人って強い？
そりゃ強いですぜ。家族の仇を取るために体に爆弾を巻きつけて自爆するやつだっている。
Wow.
人は
That is
仇討ちのために
quite a strong
死ぬ
fucking emotion to make yourself do something like that, to get to that point, to be able to commit yourself.
そうね。私も死ねるわ。
少年兵ってやつをご存知で？
子供の兵隊？
そうです。親を亡くした身寄りのない子供たちが武装勢力に拾われて兵士になるんです。パンと銃を与えられ、復讐の方法を教えられる。所詮は子供、使い捨てですがね。引き金さえ引けりゃ戦場じゃ誰だって兵士になれる。
私がそれだって言いたいの？
復讐は生きる目的になります。そして兵士になれるほどの力も与えます。親の亡骸にすがって泣くことしかできなかった少女が一夜にして兵士に生まれ変われるほどの奇跡を見せてくれる。復讐ってやつほどパワーを与えてくれるものはありませんぜ。
そうでしょうね。それがまさに私だわ。
少年兵問題ってのをご存知で？
知らないわ。
銃を与えられ復讐の仕方を習った少年兵はそれを生きる目的とします。少し違う。それを銃を撃つ理由にします。しかし復讐ってのは終わりがない。いつしか銃を撃つのに理由がなくなってくるんです。
どういう意味？
復讐のために銃を撃っていた。それがやがて理由もなく銃を撃つようになるんです。
復讐を忘れてしまうということ？
できもしない復讐にやがて疲れ果て、その目的を忘れちまうんです。
Isn't that what she just said, pretty much?
そして手元には銃しかない。
She just said it was to expose the truth of what happened on Rokkenjima. Then she changed it to finding proof to blame Ava.
やがて飯を食うために銃を撃つようになる。
復讐のために銃を取った少年兵はやがて野党か何かになり果てるってこと？
何しろ学校にも通わず職も学ばせてもらわなかった連中です。
They only learned how to shoot guns, and they were only ever praised when they killed the enemy.
やがて自分の生きる目的は復讐のためでなく、その手段のためだけになり果てていく。気の毒なことです。
私もやがては復讐に疲れ果てて、私の場合だと何だってのよ。
真実を暴くことに疲れ果て、お嬢はやがて後ろ宮エヴァを憎むだけの人生になり果てている。
Damn! So okay, I mean he got it exactly right.
すでにそうだけど何か？
そういえばそうでしたっけ？
I'm not sure what Amakusa is trying to say. Probably something annoying. So I'm not interested.
復讐なんてくだらないことだ。そう言いたいんでしょ？
お嬢の人生はまだまだ長い。何だってできる若さがある。その貴重な若さを費やすにはちょいとこの旅はもったいないんじゃねえかなと思いましてね。
余計なお世話よ。私ね、ほら飛び降りたでしょ、ビルから。
せっかく九死に一生を得たってのに。
あの時ね、私は死んだのよ。だから私はもう亡霊ってわけ。家族の仇を討つためにあの日の真実を暴くことだけを目的としたね。
やれやれ、 お嬢は大した鉄の意志をお持ちだ。
あんたみたいな軽薄な男に私の気持ちなんてわからないわよ。
After that, Amakusa was forced to shut his mouth. He shrugged, but Angie didn't see. Even so, Amakusa spoke once more.
お嬢とこの旅を始めた一番最初の日、お嬢は言いました。あの日、あの島で何があったか知りたいと。
Yes.
今
I
だって
remember
そう
that
よ。
clearly.
何か変わった？
今はこう言ってます。後ろ宮エヴァの罪を暴くため、あの日あの島で何があったか知りたいと。
Slowly changing.
全く同じじゃない。
まあそうですね。
Well,
私
to her, it might be.
眠いからもう寝る
Or she's seeing it
わ。
that
少し
way.
黙っててくれる？着いたら教えて。
了解です。
I wasn't particularly tired, really. I just said that because I didn't like talking about this.
ならないでくださいよ。少年兵は。
Angie, who had decided to feign sleep, ignored him. But Amakusa kept talking. He wanted to make sure she heard at least this much.
お嬢の旅は最初、真実を知る旅でした。それがだんだん復讐の旅になっている。真実を暴くことで復讐する旅だ。しかしお嬢も分かってる通り、六軒島にはもう何も残ってやしません。
There's nothing left on or left of.
何の跡形も残ってやしない。真実を暴くことは並大抵のことじゃないかもしれませんぞ。
I know what Amakusa's trying to say. The police searched the scene so thoroughly just after the crime, and even they weren't able to find any physical evidence proving that Ushiromiya Eva was the culprit. And a full 12 years have passed since then. If the truth could be discovered by a girl like me, waving wads of cash around to pick up a bit of info from those who were somehow related to the incident, then someone would have exposed the truth long ago. I might not be able to reach the truth. If so, then my first desire to expose the truth will probably fade away. After that, only my hatred for Ava will remain. Just like the child soldiers who forgot their original purpose and lived just to shoot, I will forget my original purpose and live just to hate. For all my hate of Ushiromiya Eva, my revenge of exposing the truth will have been foiled. But I will go on hating her anyway, and that will become all there is to my life. Is there any difference between shooting for revenge and shooting to live? When you pull the trigger, someone dies either way. And what about my case? Is there any difference between hating Ava as I expose the truth and hating Ava after I've given up? There's no difference. In the end, whether I find the truth or not, I'll just keep on cursing Ava over and over until I die. What a crappy life. But now, that's all I have left. Ushiromiya Eva stole my family, so I'll take revenge by exposing her crime and showing the world. My consciousness was slowly drifting away into sleep. Why is Oni-chan showing me such a bizarre Rokenjima? Is this supposed to be the truth? Enough with this farce. Why is even Oni-chan trying to hide the truth from me? I'm trying to find it so that I can avenge him and the others. Or would Oni-chan say the same thing as Amakusa? That revenge is meaningless, so I should stop. Is that why he's speaking in riddles, trying to make everything more confusing? That's none of his business. I'm not just trying to take revenge for their sakes. I'm doing it for my sake too. After all, that's the only thing I'm living for. Taking revenge is my reason to live. I don't have a clue what Oni-chan is thinking. Outside, the rain had started to pour down hard. However, inside the cousin's room, it was loud and cheering. It could have been raining spears, and no one would have paid any attention. Damn, you got a full house? Lucky.
うわ、ブラフじゃなかったか。
They're playing trompo, if I remember, that's how it's called. The cousins were all bursting with energy, sitting in a circle on the bed.
バトラがでかく張る
Oh, they're on the bed? They're not over here playing on the sofa?
そう思わせるためにここまで負けてきたんだぜ。最後に勝つために負けを布石する男、後ろ宮バトラ。
I was gonna say, so it was all part of his plan.
バトラすごい、バトラすごい。アリア、またコインなくなっちゃった。
私のコインを分けてやるよ。一緒にバトラをぶっ潰そうぜ。
With just a deck of cards, the cousins could enjoy themselves for many hours. They were so engrossed that the occasional thunderbolt hardly even registered as static in the background.
そろそろお腹が空いたね。夕食はまだかな。
さあ、そろそろじゃないかな。今夜はゴーダさんたちずいぶん張り切ってたな。
ってことは随分と期待できそうだぜ。俺の6年ぶりの再会を祝してかな。
さっきシャノンに聞いたけど、ハロウィンパーティーがあるって言ってたよ。
Wow, dude, that's gonna be so exciting!
ホールで立食形式でやるそうだよ。
Wow, a buffet! What are they gonna serve in this exactly?
すごいね。
What do we eat during Halloween? I guess a bunch of like horror or scary themed food?
ハロウィンパーティー？
Maybe you get like a ramen, right? For example. Actually, no, they're not gonna be able to serve ramen in this place. They say buffet.
すごいすごい。
I was gonna say maybe like a ramen and you paint, or not paint, but add food coloring to make the noodles look red. So you pretend like you're eating guts.
お、はーい、どちら様？
There was a knock. The door opens, and Angie was there. Angie had been sleeping in her parents' room.
おう、エンジェか。
She got her fists already up like she was knocking.
起きたな。
ね、晩ご飯だからお屋敷行くって。準備しなさいって。ご飯だご飯だ。お腹すいた。
Perhaps because she was the hungriest, Maria celebrated more vigorously than anyone else. She jumped up happily and hopped off the bed. As the others all clambered off the bed and started putting their shoes on, Kirie and Rudolph came into view.
ほらガキども、飯だぞ。行く支度をしろい。
今日はなんだか素敵みたいよ。楽しみね。
マリア知ってる？ハロウィンパーティー。ハロウィンパーティー？
Look at her. Getting all mischievous. As soon as she hears or she fucking smells anything occult-like, I guess. Or Halloween. Look at how she changes. She feels so superior now.
お母さん、ハロウィンパーティーって何？
さあ、何かしらね。行ってのお楽しみね。
みんな、ええか？そろそろ行くで。
皆様、お揃いでしょうか。ご案内いたします。
マリア、こっちいらっしゃい。襟が変よ。
ああ、お腹空いちゃったわ。
Uh-oh.
親族会議の一番の楽しみは食事よね。
Uh-oh. What's gonna happen
エ
here?
ンジェちゃんはお腹空いた？
Ava smiled at Angie.
着いた。
エンジェ、着きましたでしょ？
いいのよ。
There it is. There it is. That proves what Battler said at the beginning. Trying to make her learn manners.
そうよね。お腹空いたわよね。おばさんもお腹ペコペコよ。
よし、
Beko
出発するぞ。表は風も強いみたいだからな。
傘を飛ばされるなよ。
皆様、傘をお持ちください。
はい、エンジェちゃん、傘。
ありがとう、エヴァおばさん。
やっぱり女の子は可愛いわね。今度おばさんのお家にも遊びにいらっしゃい。約束よ。
Man, that really is cute.
エヴァおばさんってエンジのことを気に入ってるんだ。
うん。母さんは本当は娘が欲しかったらしいんだよ。
ああ、聞いたことあるぜ。
I never heard
小
of
さい
that.
頃、私も随分可愛がってもらった気がする。
うちのママは本当は男の子が良かったって言ってたよ。おう。
元気に生まれてきてくれれば性別なんてどうでもいいのよ。マリアは大切な神様からの授かり物なんだから。
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Man, can this be the definitive timeline or the one I'll believe in? It doesn't even have to be the definitive one. When they got outside, the wind was fairly strong. Ava, who had now really hit it off with Angie, offered to share an umbrella with the little girl. It was hard to tell what they were chatting so excitedly about, but it seemed that they were already getting along splendidly. Battler opened his umbrella as he watched this. I don't know why, but seeing him smile like this, it's just getting to me. He looks like a cat. His little sister was cute when she clung to him, but she was just as cute and adorable when looking up at someone else with a happy smile. The wind and rain were strong, but even this must have been the perfect spice to heighten their anticipation of the coming meal. Oh, we are so there. Oh, the setting is perfect. Thanks to some festival decorations, the main hall had been remade into the scene of a Halloween party. The Ushiromiya family always took meals in the dining hall. This was the first time I'd ever seen a buffet-style party set up in the main hall.
よー、バトラー。おー、マリア。久しぶりであるな。
デートー。ハッピーハロウィーン。トリックオアトリート。
お菓子はあるが今はやらぬぞ。食事の前であるからな。
Are those bottles of champagne
ありがとう、ベアト
or
リー
beer? What is that?
相変わらずお美しいわね。
There's obviously a lot of bread, or not bread, but sandwiches. What is this supposed to be? Hold on. Are those boxes, presents? I don't know. Maybe that's like bread or meat.
ローザこそ子持ちとは思えんぞ。
お前少し出来上がってねえか。耳が少し赤いぞ。
あの後ちょいとそのかな。
Is this a drunk
金蔵
Beato?
が珍しい酒を手に入れたというのでな。まあそんなちょびっとだ。
Look at her having so much
食
fun.
事の前の
Damn.
お菓子は
Okay.
自重するのに飲酒は自重しねえんだな。
Right. If you're gonna drink, at least do it during.
ベアトリーチェ様、親方様がお呼びでございます。
Wow. Again, I mean, it's very apparent, right? I already said this, but wow, they're both in the same. I saw Ginzo beckoning from over by the portrait.
やれやれ。セレモニーとは金蔵も形式にこだわる男よ。
例の黄金の返還式うんぬんってことなんだろう。後宮家にとっては一つの大きな節目なんだ。付き合ってやれや。
ちと寂しい気持ちもあるがな。
後宮家顧問錬金術師であることはこれからも変わらねえさ。
であるな。ではちょっと行ってくる。後ほどな。源氏の話によると今日のパーティーちょっとした趣向があるらしいぞ。 楽しみにしておれ。
用意したのはお前じゃないだろうが。
いちいち細かい男よ。では後ほどな。
お兄ちゃん、今日は何かあるの？何か特別な日？
It looked as though even Angie had picked up on that much. She seemed to be getting tense for no reason.
後ろ宮家にとっては特別な日だ。だが、エンジェとは関係ないから気楽にしてていいんだぜ。
そうだ！ねえねえお兄ちゃん聞いた？さっきエヴァおばさんからね、すごい秘密を聞いたの。マリアお姉ちゃんも知らない秘密、お兄ちゃんにだけ教えてあげるね。
Okay, I'm gonna pay close attention, and even if I do know the secret, I'm gonna act like I don't, because you don't want to spoil something like this for me.
秘密ってなんだなんだ？
あのね、アーモンドが入ってたら当たりなんだって。
当たりって？くじ
An
引きか
almond in
何か
what?
の話か？
The candy?
とにかくアーモンドが当たりなの。
An almond. Angie puffed out her cheeks. Apparently, she wanted to be praised for sharing this exciting secret. But just hearing that almonds win didn't really explain much.
わかったわかった。大切な秘密を教えてくれてありがとうな。
It's a clue!
お兄ちゃん嫌い。せっかく秘密を教えてあげたのに。
Oh. Angie, her cheeks still puffed out, headed back to where Auntie Ava was. They really were. They really are getting along well. Still, I guess I have no problem if it's her aunt. If it was some guy from her class, I don't care if they're both in elementary school. It's not happening. No playing with the opposite sex without Oni-chan's approval. At that moment, Genji-san's voice rang out. The chatter gradually subsided, and the rain outside once again became apparent. But that's very fitting though, if it's thundering outside.
ご静粛に願います。
Oh, okay. Silence filled the room, but I'm still talking. All of the relatives seemed vaguely aware that tonight's festivities consisted of more than a Halloween party. Oh shit, are we all gonna wear masks? Like a masquerade? Battler already knew. This was a ceremony to mark the return of the gold from Ginzo to Beatrice, which had been borrowed for so many years. First off, that fact was announced by Ginzo himself. He spoke of how this gold was not only restored the Ushiromiya family, but brought it to a level of wealth it had never before experienced. He spoke of how he would finally return this gold to Beatrice, the one who had saved the Ushiromiya family. A weighty ingot decorated with a bright red ribbon passed from his hands to hers, symbolizing the transfer, the return. I don't think I'm ever gonna forget this either.
やれやれ。
They won't be the only ones.
しまう場所もないが、特別に引き取ってやろう。
ベアトリーチェ
Yeah,
様。
where's she gonna put it? She doesn't have any pockets. Despite her status, Beato's remarks earned her a surprising warning from Genji. Wow. I couldn't help but laugh.
後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師
Everyone's getting corrected
ベ
by
アト
Genji.
リーチェである。今宵をもち10トンの黄金の貸し出し契約の終了を受け入れるものである。
Oh, whatever. We understand. They just gotta make it feel more official.
我が祖母の代より数十年片翼をもがれたわしは再び飛翔の時を迎えた。わらわはそれを見守り子々孫々までの未来永劫の繁栄を心より祈るものである。
Applause filled the hall, though she'd just managed to make such a dignified speech. As soon as it was over, she stuck out her tongue and leered at us. I guess that's about the limit of how long Beato can stay serious.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェは名を受け継ぐことで1000年を長らえる魔女である。よって彼女の子々孫々に至るまでその全てがベアトリーチェであり、その全てが当家の顧問錬金術師なのである。後ろ宮家子孫一同はベアトリーチェの恩義を永遠にたたえ、子々孫々に永遠にそれを伝えるのだ。ベアトリーチェは未来永劫後ろ宮家の恩人であり、尊い絆で結ばれた家族なのである。
ご承認いただける方々は
Fuck, I skipped. Whatever, I'm just clapping just cause I can. Also, I kinda regret skipping his dialogue. I don't do that shit on purpose, it's complete accident. After Genji's words, the relatives all looked at each other, then started applauding once more. Do I still clap? Did you guys clap with me? Oh, fuck this song! This is a perfect song because what did I say? This is a song that will be played once everything is over. It has that feeling to it. This is the type of song you will hear once your life goal is completed. Just listen. Tell me I'm wrong.
ベアトリーチェ、そなたは後ろ宮家の一員だ。それは血より尊き絆によるものだ。
金の貸し借りの縁は血より大切であるからね。
ベアトリーチェ様。
Again, corrected. After that, Kinzo's long-winded speech continued. Tonight, Kinzo would retire as the Ushiromiya family. Oh shit. Oh fuck, I just can't, this song is just too good. Then, he announced that he would reveal the distribution of his inheritance. A stir of excitement spread across the siblings in money trouble when they heard that they wouldn't have to wait for Ginzo's death to get their inheritance. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I was too busy focusing on the song, okay.
金に苦労しているのは知ってる。それらの問題は全てこれで解決できるであろう。ただし心せよ。これは死を待たずして与える遺産である。
There'll be nothing more after this.
私はお前たちを厳しくも常に見守ってきた。しかし今宵をもってお前たちの父はそれをやめるのだ。私は雲上から見守るかのごとくお前たちが飛翔するのを眺めているだろう。もはや何の口出しもせん。そなたたちの生きたいように生きるがよい。
親父。
Good, man, after that bullshit last question mark, he better be crying. I want to see this.
お父様。わかりました。私たちは必ずや飛翔してみせます。
兄弟で力を合わせ後ろ宮家をますますに繁栄させることを兄弟一同ここに誓います。
Oh, beautiful applause.
わしらは力を合わせたら向かうところ敵なしや。
Hideyoshi laughed, but Genji admonished him. However, he could understand why they were so happy. So far, the siblings had quarreled ruthlessly over the inheritance. However, this evening, the inheritance had been neatly split apart, and they no longer had any need to scheme for money. In other words, the siblings no longer had any reason to squabble with each other anymore. On the contrary, this was a time for them to join hands and help each other become more and more prosperous. Ava and Rosa were sniffling with tears in their eyes. And so was Rudolph. Yeah, look at him. Perhaps now, even at their ages, they had finally left the nest. It only took them, what, 50 years? How old are they? They're in their 40s, right? Tonight, the eagles of the Uchinomiya family would leave Rokkenjima, the nest weaved from the witch's magic, and go their separate ways. Wow. With their own power and determination. It made Kinzo think. This part of the song gets to me. If only I had done this from the start. If he had settled the inheritance problem himself, there would have been no need for his children to quarrel at all. Instead, he had acted in a sullen manner and left the problem to them, which had resulted in their stained relationship to each other. Yes, all of that had been his responsibility. And now, he was disentangled. It had been like an invisible rope wrapped around Kinzo's body. That rope had now come loose, and he had felt a sense of release he hadn't experienced for many years. The four siblings stepped forward, and before Kinzo, they swore to all support Kraus, the new head, and lead the family to greater prosperity. Their faces sparkled with an unexpected youthfulness. It was only natural. After all, the four of them had not been so naturally united since the time they were kids. As the vibrancy of their youth returned to them, the siblings banded together once again. When Kraus finished his announcements, a warm round of applause filled the hall. The cousins, and the servants too, joined in on the applause that continued on and on. Alright, fuck it again, I'm gonna clap. A little bit. Though some people will laugh at me for doing that. Angie watched this, dumbfounded. The four siblings had quarreled with each other constantly since they were kids. Supposedly. They had pointlessly locked swords with Ginzo's inheritance as their goal, their worries over money spurring them on. Even the world of truth, the world I acknowledge, has been rewritten by this golden ceremony. Were they actually friendly towards each other? Or did they quarrel all the time like I believe? It doesn't matter. Either way, right here, right now, all of those problems have been resolved. I mustn't believe. This is just Oni-chan's farce. Even though I knew that fact, when I watched Dad and the others hugging each other, with teary smiles on their faces, I couldn't help but feel something warm welling up in my eyes. Obviously, naturally. Oh, but this is what you wanted so badly, and now you don't want to believe in it?
何を見たら、聞いたら、信じることができるんだ。
赤で、赤き真実で言ってくれたら。
Oh, are you serious? Even then, I don't know. Even then, I feel like he won't believe it.
全ては嘘なのか？
信じない。私はこんなの。
Angie looked at the floor and fell silent. As the game master, Battler was able to use the red truth. However, that rule only exists on the Witch's game. Alright, let me get up. Hold on. In the world of humans, red truth doesn't exist. People see things, hear things, and when they believe that something is worth believing, they accept it as red truth. People see things, hear things, and when they believe that something is worth. Unless Angie accepts it, no kind of truth can become truth. Battler wanted her to realize this. There was no point in using the red truth, a rule of this game, to force the truth on her. Angie would have to use her own power, her own heart, to accept the truth as truth. Wow. The decision was Angie's. No one could force her to decide either way. So this is why people say that you carry this game once you finish it. It changes your life. It does something to you. It makes you see things at a different angle. So there was nothing wrong with Angie's declaring this scene to be a farce. But if so, then what was the meaning of the hot tears dripping down Angie's face? Angie would have to consider that herself without anyone telling her. After one sniffle and rub of her eyes, Angie let the 6-year-old version of herself take control of her piece. What followed was a harmonious, fun stretch of time. Beautifully adorned dishes were brought in one after another, and champagne corks were loosened with pleasant sounds. Several small tables were set here and there, each with its own theme. That was where the fun lay, in this stand-up buffet party. As the guests wandered from table to table, pondering what they should eat first. This sort of performance was where Golda's genius shone through. Oh, I gotta calm down, bitch. The hotel that let him go should probably regret ever having done so. Yeah, but too fucking late. They're not getting him back. Of course, a stand-up buffet would probably be a tiring affair for the middle-aged. So, chairs had been set up as well. However, each time a new dish was brought into the hall, they couldn't get up to look. They could get up to look and wander the tables however they pleased. This way, they could each bump into a new group of people, then mingle elsewhere when that group melted apart. People are interesting. As the members in each group changed, so did the topic of conversation. The bustling Halloween party played out like a colorful kaleidoscope. The origami, chains decorating the walls recalled one to one's youth. They would make anyone enjoy themselves as they did when they were kids. Oh man, that fucking line. Even to Angie, it was like a dream. She chatted happily with her cousins. She also chatted with her aunts and uncles. Beato showed her several tricks that she called magic. Man, this sounds like such a beautiful day, something that you or she would never want to end. Maria said they were magic, Angie said they were tricks, and the night grew even more lively. Yes, the dissertation! The two young girls were so fired up that the adults decided to show some tricks they knew, shocking both of the kids utterly. Eventually, they each started showing tricks to the other, asking if they'd ever seen this one or that one before, and it became a party of magic just perfect for Halloween. In addition to magic tricks, several quizzes, riddles, and games popped up, reminding everyone of their childhood days. Even the servants who were serving food got dragged into the groups, and the whole hall filled with chatter. To Angie, young as she was, every single magic trick, quiz, and riddle was an entirely new experience. They stimulated her intellectual curiosity, and she couldn't contain her excitement. Add in the wide variety of delicious foods and drinks she could choose from, and it was like being in a dream. A dream you would never want to wake up from. Angie felt a floaty sensation, as though she was walking on a cloud.
Angie, お前これを飲んじゃったのか?
Oh, is that why she felt floaty?
これお父さんの飲み物だぞ。
エンジェは大人のブドウジュース飲みたかったの。
Shit. Tell me you just had a sip at the very least.
少し顔が赤いぜ。
Oh, fuck. No. Okay, this turned from funny to not so funny. I hope you don't.
大丈夫か?
They could get poisoned from that, right?
ちょっとしか飲んでないから大丈夫とは思うけれど。
エンジェ大丈夫だよ。子供じゃないもん。
Oh, girl. Oh no. Well, we gotta keep an eye on her.
エンジェちゃんはこっちを飲みなさい。ルドルフお父さんが飲んでるのは悪い飲み物だからもう飲んじゃダメよ。
Right, give her some water.
そうだな。悪いのを飲んでるとエンジェも悪い大人になっちまうぜ。
Give her some water and something to eat.
エンジェ悪い大人にならないもん。お姫様になるもん。
そうよ。エンジェは私たちみんなのお姫様よ。
そうだな。エンジェは家族みんなのお姫様だ。
私にもお姫様よ。ぜひ今度おばさんの家にも遊びに来てね。 絶対なんだから。いっぱいいっぱい歓迎してあげるんだから。
ありがとう、エヴァおばさん。
Everyone was being really nice to me. It almost felt like I'd become a real princess. I felt so great. I could almost believe that this whole celebration was being held for my sake. Battler stood outside that group of people. As he watched Angie smiling happily from a distance, he smiled too.
ああして幸せに笑えば名前負けもせんのにな。惜しい娘よ。
What do you mean? Witch of Origins?
そうだな。天使の名にふさわしい笑顔だと思うぜ。
あの笑顔がコマでなく本当の演者なものであればよいのだが。
仮に違ってもあいつはこれを見てるさ。そして自分で考えればいい。
そなたと演者のゲームは慈しみにあふれている。
Yes, so sweet. It's so sweet, I'm getting a cavity.
わらわからすればもどかしいほどにな。
もどかしくて何の問題がある。誰の邪魔もない。妨害も駆け引きも何もなしだ。
そうだな。このゲームはもはや戦いでさえない。
言ってみれば片付けなんだ。俺たちのゲームの。
わらわの気まぐれなる行為があやつに及んだ罪は償いきれぬ。
俺たちのゲームの責任だ。俺たち二人で償う。だから俺たちでエンジェに最後のゲームを送る。
エンジェはあの鍵を正しく使えると思うか。
俺たちが正しいと思う方へ無理やり引っ張ることももちろん考えたさ。
それは意味なきことかもしれぬな。強制された選択は正しくとも生涯受け入れがたい。
そういうことだ。エンジェは自ら考え自ら選ばなければならない。それが俺たちから見て正しくない選択であったとしても俺はそれを祝福しようと思う。
ゲームマスターはそなただ。わらわはもはや何も口を挟まぬ。今宵をただ楽しむだけだ。
エンジェにとっては意味あるゲームだ。だが俺たちにとってはお疲れ様パーティーみたいなもんさ。
そろそろやってくる頃合いだな。しかし良いのか。エンジェにまた誤解されるぞ。
大丈夫さ。それにむしろ必要なんだ。お前がそういう姿を見せたようにみんなもな。
ならば我らもこの千秋楽祝いを楽しませてもらうとしよう。これほどの長きゲームにて皆それぞれの役を見事演じきってきたのだから。
That instant, the sound of someone clapping for attention rang out.
さあさあ皆様お集まりください。
Bitch, I got scared. Tell me why I thought it was Burn Castle for a second.
本日のとっておきでございます。
Golda had been the one clapping. Everyone gathered together, wondering what was going on. On the serving cart, in front of him was a large, sliced chocolate cake. Ooh, Okay, I don't really like chocolate too much because I think it's too sweet, but... Fuck.
本日は今夜のハロウィンパーティーの目玉としてこの特製ザッハトルテをご用意させていただきました。
Sacertrot? Trotre? I don't know.
ご覧の通りチョコレートにて片翼のわしの紋章の風浪をつけた後ろ宮家だけの一品でございます。
Wow. The stupendous cake drew a gasp of admiration from all present. Completely made from scratch.
これは立派なケーキですな。目玉にふさわしいものです。
Yes.
いえいえ、ただのケーキではございませんよ。今夜のこのケーキには一つ秘密がございます。
Oh, the almonds!
親方様、どうかそれを皆様にお話し
It's gonna have an almond in it, right?
よろしくお願いいたしま
One
す。
slice is gonna have an almond. I'm gonna call it.
これはささやかなゲームであるぞ。このケーキには一つだけ当たりのものがあるのだ。
I fucking knew it. As soon as he said there's something special. Oh, God, she said it. And she shouted happily. Ginzo looked at her fondly and nodded.
このケーキの中の一切れだけにアーモンドが一粒入っておる。そのケーキを選んだ者が今夜の王様であるぞ。
Okay.
王様ゲームなんて久しぶりだぜ。
Oh, that's a
あ
game?
なたのは悪い王様ゲームね。
さて、王様になるとどんなことがあるのですか？
王様は願いを一つ口にすることができる。それを皆で叶えようではないか。
へえ、面白そうだぜ。
王様は男がなるんだよ。女の子はなれないよ。
女の子が当たりだったらお姫様になれるんだよ。
Or the queen.
アーモンドが当たり。
そうだな。エンジェはすごいな。
こういう時はくじ運がものを言うんや。負けへんで。
お待ちなさいよ。小さい子から順に選ぶといいわ。それがいいですね。エンジェちゃんからどうぞ。
こら、マリアはお姉さんでしょ。エンジェちゃんを先にしなさい。
She's not the youngest no
当たりを
more.
引いちゃったらどうするの？
Well, it's just her luck. It's all up to luck, really.
アーモンドが当たり。
But what if we cut the fucker in half?
私たち年寄りは
Or do they know exactly where it is? If that's the case, then it's not really a game.
和解順ということはビリは金蔵であるよな。
そなたは繊細であろうが。
Oh, yes.
納得ゆかん。
Everyone burst out laughing. Her real age was unknown, but she claimed to be 19 years old. In front of Angie lay a large cake, cut so that there was one piece for each of them. I hope wait, but then again, what if they cut that bitch in half? Just one of those pieces was the winner.
さあ、エンジェ様、どのケーキになさいますかな。どれを選んでもほっぺたが落っこちるほど美味しい
Even
です
if
よ。
you don't win the almonds, you still win because that shit is gonna be so good.
やだ。当たりのじゃないとやだ。
じゃあ一発で当ててみせるしかないな。
There's only one shot.
ほら、選べ選べ。
It's all up to this. You have a 1 in. How many people are here? Like 20 fucking people? You have a 1 in 20 chance? Battler pushed Andrew's small back towards the table with a cake.
どれにしようかな。
Or 19. The chocolate cake was cut into 15 pieces. Oh no, fuck. Never mind. 15. I want to pick the one with an almond and become the princess. Yo! Oh fuck! I didn't expect them to fucking show this. Yo, look at this cake. They drew this? This is a drawing? This shit looks so goddamn. That shit looks so thick and creamy and delicious. That shit looks so good. Dude, these things, they look like they, I don't know if they look like they're made of pure chocolate or maybe they have some crunch to it. Is the almond inside those? Inside one of these or inside the actual slice? Yo. Holy fuck. You know what? Dude, legit. Whenever it's gonna be my birthday or something, I'm gonna fucking commission someone to make a cake this exact birthday. This shit looks so goddamn good. One of them has the winning almond. Which could it be? Honestly, I wouldn't even care because, yo, just getting a slice would be enough. I get to choose first, but it sort of feels unfair. I mean, it is, isn't it? My chances of getting the right one are 1 in 15. You don't have good odds. There's no way I'll get it. And then, when Maria One-chan goes after me, she has a 1 in 14 chance of picking the winner. The next person has a 1 in 13, and then a 1 in 12, and the last person will win for sure. Those are chances. I mean, you don't really know where it's gonna be.
お兄ちゃん、これずるい。最初に選ぶ人の方が不利。
Everyone laughed. Apparently, there was something wrong with my calculations, but it still didn't feel right to me.
さあ、エンジェ様から運試し。どうぞどうぞ、お選びください。
Yes, I'm sure you will be the winner. If I have to pick one out of so many, there's no way I'll win. But for some reason, tonight, it feels like I might actually win after all. I have no reason for feeling this way, but when I'm in a good mood, Lady Luck always brings me fortune.
ほら、決まったか？
決まった。これが当たり。
I concentrated on my fingertip and pointed at one of the 15 slices. Maybe she's gonna make magic just like Beato did earlier. The slice I chose was... Choose a slice of cake? Are you kidding? What? They actually let me choose? No. Wait, first of all, this is fucking crazy. Because they never let you do something like this. They actually let you choose? Is this a one-time thing? Hold on. Choose a slice. I kind of like the way... Fuck. Which one do I want to choose? Am I really gonna have to choose between the 15? Dude, I hope if I choose... Dude, please tell me I choose the winner. No way. This is so hard. Okay, so these are darker and these are lighter. Could the slice... Could the almond... Fuck. Okay, the almonds. Okay, maybe if I look at these swirly shits... This one looks a little, like, hastily put on. Does that mean something? I mean, they all look pretty... more or less the same, but this one looks a little fucked up. I'm not trying to talk shit if they drew it that way, but could this be it? I don't know why. I have a feeling it's one of these down here, though. Oh, shit. Okay, let me just go ahead and click. What if it's this one? Just because it looks exactly like Kinzo's... Or not, just like the one-winged eagle, just because of the angle we're in. Fuck, is there an actual right or wrong answer? Okay, I won't know. Enough stalling. Should I just go ahead and choose this one? It's either gonna be this one or that one. God, I hate when I have to choose shit, because I'm so, what's the word, apprehensive? Like, I can never choose. It's either gonna be this one or that, or maybe one of these. Okay, I'm gonna choose this one, but if this one is the winner, just know that I wanted to choose that one, and I'm gonna consider myself the winner. But no, what if that is the winner? Oh, shit. Which one should I choose? Oh, fuck. One of these two bitches. Ah, whatever.
これでございますね。よろしいですか？
もう決めたの？これがいい？
When he asked me whether I was sure, I felt a little uneasy. Still, at times like this, it's better to stick with your instincts. It was one of the few bits of philosophy that the young girl had learned from her few life experiences. I really hope I get the fucking almonds. Golda took the chosen slice, put it on a plate with a fork, and handed it to Angie.
次はマリアね、マリア。どれにしようかな。
It was Maria's turn next. She was excited, determined to be the winner. I walked away from that group all by myself. I was struck by temptation to quickly cut out the cake open with my fork and check for an almond inside. However, I stopped myself. Good, I was gonna wait until everyone opens up their own cake. Everyone gets a slice. If I check my piece first, my chance of winning is 1 in 15. However, if I wait for some other people to check their slices, then when I see that they lost, my chances will go up, if only slightly. Look at her. She is, oh my god, her brain is, the electrons are firing. In other words, instead of searching for the almonds right away, my chances will go up if I wait for some other people to lose. But if someone picks a winner while I'm still around here, the chances of my slice being a winner will go to 0. Well, they would have been at 0 anyways. It'll be tough to calculate the right moments. I just need to wait long enough for as many losers to show up as possible. It's gonna be either her or someone else. Her or Maria. My chances of winning are highest if I can check my piece immediately before someone else wins. Yeah, that's the trick to winning this game. I hope I chose the right one. Oh, what? What a strange thought. It feels like I'm missing something. Even though no one else can touch the cake that's sitting in front of me, the almond inside it will appear or disappear depending on whether or not the other people win or lose. I was in such a good mood that I felt dizzy and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my theory. But I did realize that something was strange. There is always just one truth inside a cat box. No matter what happens outside the cat box, it shouldn't be able to shake the truth inside. And yet, I'm being influenced by events outside the cat box and trying to make them affect my observation of the box's contents. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is she finally realizing something? I don't even know what I'm saying. Another me inside me is trying to say that, but it's too hard for me to understand. I feel like I'm drifting. I got so cheery and excited that even though I'm not sleepy, my mind feels hazy. Maybe it's because I drank Dad's adult drink. Bad drink. In the end, even though I'd chosen the first piece, I decided to check it last. After I've seen that everyone else has lost, my chances of winning will be 100%. I tried to find that contradiction in my thinking, but I didn't really get it, so I stopped. It's much better to have a 100% chance than a 1 in 15 one, so I decided to bet on that. I couldn't wait to open this precious treasure chest, but I waited for everyone else to choose their pieces and check them.
どうですか？当たりの出た方はいますか？
マリアの入ってなかった。
Oh, well that should stand my theory.
私のも外れだぜ。
Okay.
お姫様になり損ねちまった。
Our chances of winning are going so high up right now.
本当に美味しくて美しいザッハトルテだね。
Satcher tro... Satch... Satcher tro... I
食べず
still
に
don't know
飾
how
って
to
お
say
ける
it.
ものならそうしたいくらいだよ。
Yes, that looks beautiful.
アーモンドあったか？
私もダメね。
Oh, our chances are going so high up. By the way, is this... Can you actually win or lose? If so, I fucking hope I win, bitch.
わしも外れのようや。会社に嫁にもうわしの運は使い切っとるからな。
もうそれってどういう意味よ。
南條先生はいかがですか？
Ooh, what if
今
Anjo
調べ
wins?
てるところです。たまにはこういうのも楽しいですな。駆け引きなしの純粋な博打も実に面白い。ベアとはどうであったか。
残り物に服があるなどと言った嘘つきは誰だ。ガル
Grrr. What?
エンジはどうだ？アーモンドはあったか？
今調べてる。
Oh fuck, this is it. This is it, bitch. Did I choose right?
なんだ？まだ手をつけてなかったのか？
I'm gonna growl just like she did if I fucking lose. I was following my own personal probability theory, but I didn't think I could explain it well to Oni-chan, so I didn't mention it to him. Oh, I can't click him. I wonder if there's an almond in there. If I win, I'll be tonight's princess. I'll be happy if I win, but even if I don't, it'll still be a really fun night, so that's okay. I stopped when this cake game started, but before then, everyone was having a lot of fun trading tricks, quizzes, and riddles. No, it stopped. This game is fun too, but I want to play like that again soon. Huh?
どうしたエンジェ？お
I stared at the tiny thing on my fork, then showed it to my brother.
これアーモンドだよね。
おお
I
エンジェのに入ってたのか。
Please tell me I actually got it right and
すごいぜエンジェ。
Shit, I got the fucking almond! At the same time, a stir rose up in the other corner of the room.
あったわ。私のに当たりが入ってた。
What?
ほう
There's
エ
two?
ヴァが当てたか。
これは
No, she won. Maybe I just got a piece of cake. And
お
I
め
thought
で
it
とう
was.
ございますエヴァ様。
This bitch is always winning.
エンジェが当たりなの。私がアーモンドなの。
I held the almond high and shouted across the room. The crowd around Ava split, and everyone stared at me, surprised. I was surprised too. The thing in her hand was, without a doubt, an almond.
なんだなんだこりゃどういうことだゴーだアーモンドが2つ入ってるようだがどちらも当たりなのかね
What's going on here?
そんなはずは。
どちらかが勘違いということでしょうか。
エンジェ様のは間違いなくアーモンドです。カノン君、そっちは？
エヴァ様のも間違いなくアーモンドです。
Wow. Well, we have a
では
problem here.
2人とも当たりということではありませんか。
親方様
Now then, this right here was probably the least suspected outcome.
これはキーなこともあるものだ。どうしたものか、ゴーダよ。
これはちょっとした手違いでございまして、じゃんけんでもしてもらって。
Rock, paper, scissors?
ケチくさいことを言うでない。2つのアーモンドが現れ、女王と姫が選び出されただけの話ではないか。
Wow. Nice, man. That's a good way to look at
そう
it.
いうことだ。二人が当たりということで良いではないか。
ああ、まあ、しかし。
Goda was hesitant. Actually, he had prepared a single special dessert for the king. Oh, it had been decorated in a way that made it hard to split for two people. So, it wasn't convenient for there to be two kings. When Ava heard Goda mumbling something to this effect, she shrugged and laughed.
じゃあエンジェちゃんがお姫様になりなさい。
お姫様。エンジェはお姫様なの？
私はその付き人よ。ね、これならいいでしょう。
Of course it worked. Angie had been worried that Ava would be declared the winner since she had spoken up first. So she hadn't even dreamed that Ava would give it up to her.
でも、いいの？エヴァおばさんも当たりなのに。
いいのよ。エンジェちゃんの付き人になれたもの。さあ、お姫様。あなたが叶えてほしい願いは何？考えてちょうだいな。
エンジェは、願い事、もう決めてあるの。
あら、それは何？おばさんに教えて。
I wanted this fun time to keep going on forever. The young me spoke for the desire in my heart.
さっきまでの楽しいが、ずっと続いてほしいの。
I get the feeling that the nuance has changed. Still, that was unmistakably my wish.
さっきまでのって、ああ、手品とかクイズとか？じゃあ、こうしましょう。みんな聞いて。お姫様の命令よ。ついさっきまでみんなが盛り上がっていたように、手品やクイズなどでエンジェちゃんを楽しませてあげてちょうだい。
おいおいもう手品のネタも尽きちまったぜ。
ならクイズやなぞなぞね。
Oh, quizzes.
つまり みんなでいろいろなクイズでエンジェちゃんに楽しんでもらうようにすればいいわけかね。
お姫様に楽しんでもらえるクイズをみんなで献上するのですね。
なるほどね。了解したよ。
Oh wow, this song is so cute. Hold on. Stuffed animal?
なるほど、面白いではないか。ではエンジェよ、こうしよう。みんなにクイズやなぞなぞを出してもらい、それに挑むがよい。見事解けるたびにそなたにメダルを1枚与えよう。
Am I actually gonna have to do this shit?
記念メダルってこと
Because
だ
they
ろう
just
な。
had me clicking on some cake, I mean.
いっぱい正解できればいっぱい集められるんだろうぜ。
What if I get all of them? I'm probably gonna not. No, I'm not gonna get any of them right. I'm already
た
calling it.
だ集めるだけではつまりませんね。
集めたメダルの枚数に応じて私から素敵なプレゼントを送ってや
I
ろ
can't
う。
fucking talk like that. I gotta get all of these motherfuckers right.
がぜんやる気が出たであろう。
I feel fucking excited. Yes, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? I'm a bad. I get all these motherfuckers right. I know I
ご褒美
will.
まであるんですってよ。
And a prize? What do I
よかっ
win?
たわね、エンジェ。
Everyone gathered around me, smiling, as they thought about what sort of puzzle they'd give. They're all thinking about me, so they can play with me. So that they can play with me. Just the feel of having that all to myself almost made me explode with joy at becoming the princess. And what about this cake? Oh shit, okay, I'm gonna read some puzzles next. Am I actually gonna have to like click and shit? I'm gonna have to click, aren't I? I'm gonna actually participate. Quiz tournament. I could fucking continue this until the end, but I just have to break it up in parts because it's just gonna be too long if I don't. This quiz tournament, am I actually gonna have to click on stuff and stuff? Man, this episode is so fucking cute. It's so cute.